Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm back. I'm back to trying to finish something. The last video I did on this little pocket journal, oops, it's upside down. It's a good thing I checked that out. Anyways, the last video I did on it, I had finished the last page, but I've not done my cover. And I got sidetracked and I'm doing 500 million other things. So I wanted to come back on and get this finished. Now I'm going to do the cover. Hopefully I'm going to get the whole cover done today. And then I want to make tags and things to put in the journal. So when I did the last page, we talked about the fact that I am not happy with how much of this sticks out on the backs. It's pretty nice on the front and just tabs stick out. But on the back, part of my page is sticking out. So I had made a boo-boo on one of my, when I first attempted to make this page. So what I am going to do is add a single sheet to the back, making a last pocket. So I want to cut this off, and that's okay because I had already planned on using these pieces to make tags with. Yeah, doesn't want to cut right there. I had boo-booed, like I said, and so I thought I would just use those to make tags. Now on all of my corners, I had rounded the corners, so I'm going to have my corner punch, which has gotten up and left the station. Here we go. And it's going to go on just like so, which will line the tab up with the rest of the book. Now, when I put the paper in here, I realized that I should have put my dictionary paper on this back part before I started, before I glued the book together. So I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of dictionary page on this part of this back section so that it is a little easier to do. Basically, I'm being a little lazy, so. And it's been several weeks since I worked on this, so if you've forgotten about it, I will put a link to a lot of the not what I wanted this. I'll put a link down below to some of the other videos. And I used Yes Paste throughout the book. I really like it. Oh, well, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I just don't need a huge piece, so I do want to keep my book right side up, though. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in, you know, an inch or so, so that I have, so that as this looks, you're not seeing the whole boring part of this. And as you remember, we need wax paper underneath this when we do Yes Paste, because it is very messy and sticky, and it's very actually hard to clean off my craft mat. So I hope everybody's having a grand day today. It's finally cooled down a little bit here. last winter we had a very cold winter, but I don't expect it to be like that this winter. I think we're going to have mostly warm days. We had a lot of freezing temperatures last winter. Okay. Oh dear. Now if you remember, I just tore everything off. And I do not know why I didn't get this all totally finished. I went on to something else, I guess. It's hard telling. All of my edges in my book are inked, so I'm going to go ahead and ink that right now. The last page has already been inked along there. There we go. Let's get it a little more distressed. There we go. I like that. And then I am just going to use I used this aqua glue to glue it together because it dries real solid, and so I'm going to put just a couple little rows of glue across the bottom. It will shorten my tag pocket just a little bit, but not enough to worry about. And I don't know how far up that one comes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the glue over here on this side so that we don't get glue clear up too far. And I usually just put a couple little lines of glue. This glue dries, it takes a few minutes to dry, but when it dries nice and clear, and it seems to be nice and sturdy. I like this glue. It's Mono Aqua Glue from Tombow. I'm just going to add this right to the back, like so. Now see, now my pocket, okay, is on the back, and I don't have that, I just have tabs sticking up. So that is, I think we need to ink the edge of that just a little bit. Looks like that piece was just a tad wider than the other one, and it's not a big deal. So now we need some more wax paper, because what we're going to do, and I'm going to work on the front while this piece is on the back is drying. We're going to put our dictionary paper on this front piece because everything in my book was covered with the dictionary paper, so I'm going to continue to do that. I need to save these because I saw something really cool the other day. One of the other girls, Jerry Bellini, did it. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there like so, which means that I need some Yes Paste. Remember guys, you don't need a ton of this Yes Paste, but it works very, very well. You want to get it right out to the edges. And that's really the hardest part, is getting along the edge. That's why you want to put something down that you can throw away or set aside, because if you get it on your mat, it does not. I had a terrible time cleaning it up. Light is odd in here today. I'm having trouble seeing whether or not I've got everything covered. So okay. Uh-oh. Okay. The spine wanted to make me hold the book wanted to be held up in the air, and I didn't want to fight with it, so by putting it up like this, I can get hold of the very bottom edge. Now I may have to re-ink the very edge of this front page, just because I have put this other paper on the front of it, and some of it might show through. Not a big deal. But a little ink, I think, goes a long way. Okay, so the front cover has our dictionary page. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the back, the dictionary paper on the back side. I think that's dry enough. Oh, I guess I better tear the sheet piece off of it before I try to do that. I've been trying to decide how I want to do the tie or closure, because I am going to need to put a closure on it because of the tags that might be in it and might want to fall out. So I haven't quite decided, but I think I have an idea. There again, edges are real important with this stuff. I do like it. It took me a long time to open the jar and start using it, but I mean, it's going to last forever, because you don't use very much at one time. Okay. Okay, let's get this lid back on, and I thought I had the some wax paper underneath the edge of that, and for some reason I didn't have any, so we are going to put some. back on there. And again, we're just going to lift this and tear it off. Come on, stand up. It's only the very beginning part that's wanting to give me a hard time. I'd like to get the cover done today so that I can work on all the tags and get this totally finished. I mean, it is November. For most of you, winter started. Okay. Alrighty. A little piece of something red wanted to be on there. Now, one of the things, like I said, I picked the book up upside down a little while ago, so do make sure that as you put your cover on, you're right side up, because that would not be fun to have all your fun front cover stuff upside down. And like I said, I think I noticed that, yeah, there's some little bits of white from the dictionary page hanging over. So we're just going to redo that a little bit. Back looks okay. And I'm probably going to leave the back cover plain. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm going to leave the back cover just with... Oh, you guys are never going to believe what I did. Well, we're just going to redo it right now. That's not going to come off of there, so we'll have to just redo it over the top of it. I just put the... I just told you, be careful of having things right side up, and I put the dictionary page upside down on my back cover, and I'm just not going to let that stay that way. So we will just get out our yes paste. Start over. That means I need another piece of plastic or wax paper. Okay. I need to put it that way. Oh dear. You know, guys, sometimes do me a favor and do what I say and not what I do. So what I'm going to do is just lay this new piece of dictionary paper over the top of this one. There's no way I'm going to get it off of there. So... it is hard to see, that much I'll tell you, where my glue is and isn't. Okay, now then. Okay. Well, happens to all of us once in a while. Okay. I'm just glad I saw it before I got the spine that I'm going to cover it up with on there. That would have made me unhappy because that would have been hard to take off. This was not a problem. My back cover is well protected. Okay, now we will ink the back. Grunge it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, now it's right. And we have the dictionary page on it. Now, I have a whole roll of this. It came in some packaging of some sort somewhere along the line. And I decided that what I was going to do is wrap the book with it, giving the book just a little bit of space on the spine so that it can open. I'm hoping that's going to work. That's my plan anyways, is to just leave a little bit of, let me see if I can show you, of room right in here. So I need it the same height as my book, which I don't remember how high it was, but what we'll do is let's go like that. Guess it would have been easier to do that across the back, but that's okay. I have a line. This is just like half a piece of corrugated cardboard. It's real interesting, and one of the reasons I decided I wanted to use it is because on some of the pages I used some scrapbooking cardstock stuff that was corrugated like it was. They weren't big enough. The sheets of them were only 6 inches, so they weren't tall enough to do the whole book. So that's why I got this out. Then I don't want this straight, I don't think. I think I want it torn. And inked, of course. Gotta ink it. And ink across the top. Okay. Now then, making a decision on how far what I'm looking at is how big the piece needs to be, and so that I can nice thing is if I make the wrong decision, I can always go back and get a new piece. I have a big piece of it. Heck, I don't have no idea what it came in. Okay, I'm going to ink that. Okay. Now back when I started the book, because I didn't know, I don't have a lot of ribbon these days, I used most of my ribbon up doing another project, which is really weird because I used to have a huge box of it. But when I was working on this book earlier, I bought these and I haven't used them, which is not a problem because they're pretty colors. But I'm thinking that I'm going to use 3 of them and braid them together. So, oh, it's all one piece. Okay, so I'm going to use these 3. I'm not a yellow girl, so I'm going to leave the yellow out. Let's see, we want them all 3 the same length. Brown one is unrolled. Yep, I need unroll these one more time. There we go. And if I braid them together, they will make sort of a more substantial tie, and that's my thought process on it. But they're going to shorten some. I want them to go all the way around the book. I need them to tie, and braiding it is going to make them go smaller. So I'd rather have too much and cut it off. I can always do, you know, use it for tags. Oh, that's another thing. I can use it for tags. So we'll just go ahead and make a nice long. We'll just make them nice and long. And we'll set that out of the way. Okay. I'm just going to clip them together right here. I may clip them even tighter so they don't move. I'm going to put the spine around this, and I want those to be underneath it, if that makes sense, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tacky glue. Oh, lost it. There it is. I'm going to put tacky glue up about a ½ inch on this, because I'm going to make sure that it's on the book part a fair amount. I don't want it to be too gaping around the spine. And then where the ribbons are, I'm going to just kind of put it all the way across so that it holds on to my ribbons. And I have glue on my fingers. Now, like I said, I'm going to leave that loose on there, but I don't want it so loose that it causes an issue. And I'm going to clip them right here on the little edges, just to kind of hold it for a minute while I test it out, because we need to make sure that our book opens and closes real well. Well, that's not going to work with the clips on it, is it, guys? Okay, so we'll see if the book opens fine, and then if it does, nope, it needs to be pushed all the way on. I can't leave that much gap. Okay. Oops. Okay, so it doesn't have near as much gap as I was leaving it, but it'll be fine now. Let's double check. Yeah, it's opening now without moving around too much, and that's what I needed to make sure I had. So now I am going to clip the little corners of it just to hold it, because I am going to go ahead and braid my little front and backs. And I'm just doing a braid like you'd braid kids' hair. Never did it very well, so one of the things you need to think about if you're going to tie or buckle your journal, like I'm going to do this one, is that your front decoration is going to be crossed by this decoration or tie. Your decoration's going to be under your tie. So when you decorate your piece, you need to think about what's going to be under the tie, whether or not it's going to lay okay under the tie, if it's going to catch your tie. Now, another thing I might do is I might put my decoration over top of the tie and glue the tie down across the front. I'm going to have to look at that in just a minute when I get ready to do the front. Which I might leave this part, but I think maybe I need to get it I need to have it done so that I know what I'm looking at when I do the front. So we're going to go ahead and finish it. You know what, guys? I think I might turn the sound off so I can speed this section up. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I think after doing that I have decided I'm going to just cut that whole section out. It took forever. I am not real talented when it comes to braiding, but it came out real pretty, I think, and I think it will tie up real nice. And I think I've decided I don't want to put my braid underneath, because I will want to do this to it like so. And these are probably too long, but I'm going to leave them that way until I get all my tags in, because the book's going to get fatter. This isn't totally dry yet, but I will show you that it opens without too much trouble. Okay. And it's getting dry, pretty dry. So now we're just going to decorate the front cover. We're going to make sure we got it right side up. And because this is going to come across it, like I said, we need to think about what we're going to put on here as far as having something that's underneath our tie. And I had this little piece. I used another one of them. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. I thought I could put some more of this on, but I don't like that's too heavy. I've got this fun little piece of cardstock that's got some great color to it. I've got leaves and things that I still have, but I'm thinking that I like this piece. I'm also thinking that I want to put something that says fall, and I have this stamp that says favorite time of year, and I used it somewhere else in the book, so I'm gonna maybe ink that up. I'm kind of putting it on there with that leaf because I thought I might use the leaf. Somehow on there. You know, I can start with a plan. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be what I do in the end. I don't think I left anything very straight edged in the whole book. So now this, guys, is, well, I just tore that, so that's not going to get used. That's interesting. It tore right where the embossing part is, and I'm just going to throw that away. I don't want to use it. Ooh, that cardstock's hard to tear. This is just some coffee dyed cardstock that I've got. That I dyed a fair amount of it. I like how it gets splotchy. And I'm probably going to use this cardstock coffee dyed for most of the tags. I want to make the tags and the journal spots where you can write. None of the pages don't have much in places where you can write, but if I put the tags and things in here that you can write on, then then there'll be places in there to write. That's okay. I got these Joann's, I think, on clearance. And they're wooden, And I didn't want to use them in the book just because I was afraid they would be too heavy, too thick. I don't want to use a bunch of them, but I do think that I'm going to use a couple. This is and as my friend Lisa from Lisa's Eclectic Life says, we auditioned our things. Now see, here's where my tie is going to come across. For some reason, they're not behaving the way I want them to behave. I want them to look a little different here. And it might be that I don't like the brown one. That may be what I need to do, is change out the brown one. It's too much the color of everything else. By going with a second yellow one, I think I like that just like that. Now, what will it look like when I take this off? I may need to move this piece up a little higher. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm going to do, guys. Pretty much that. Now I'm going to put everything down with tacky glue because these especially are going to need tacky glue. So and if I don't remember next time I'm out somewhere to get some more tacky glue, I am just gonna be beside myself. Okay. Now I did use fall favorite time of year inside my book somewhere, I'm pretty sure, but it's okay if I've got the same words. Okay. And these, I want to get the tacky glue right out on their little tips because I'm afraid that if they get caught on something, they might pick up. Okay. And again, I'm just I got a little more tacky glue on that last flower than I really needed, or last leaf than I really needed, so I was being a little bit more, excuse me. I'm sorry, everyone. Oh, I apologize. Okay, guys, there's that one, and we have one more, and then the cover is finished. I'm not going to try to do the tags today. I'm going to wait and do the tags another day. But there we go. Now those will need to sit there for a little while and dry, so I'm not going to try to pick it up, but let's just tie it up and let's see how it looks. This kind of gives you a place if I wanted to write something there. That's another part of leaving that little bit of blank space. And like I said, the ties may be a little too long and I may cut them off, but at the same time I want to leave them until we get it finished. So there's the cover, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that it's a little long. But I'll be back and we'll finish up the tags and tucks and all that kind of thing in it, and we'll talk about all that stuff later, and then the book will be finished, and that'll be, yay, one more finished project. So now I want to read you a quote from my 1001 Ways to Creativity. Creativity requires an extraordinary amount of faith mixed with just the right level of doubt. Oh, I like that. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Make some art, have some fun, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.